Welcome to the channel. Today we're continuing the disassembly of our seized engine and checking in with the bent chassis on our 1963 Land Rover Series 2A. We also have a bit of a surprise near the end that we're gonna need your help with. So let's get into it. We left this engine off having taken the crank out. However, I did leave the cam in and I got really tired and just left it. So next thing we need to do is take the drive gear out for the distributor, and there's a little set screw here that holds it in, and it was covered behind the gasket here for the oil filter housing. So we're going to take that out so that it releases the gear and we can pull that cam out the engine. In the last video I did of the disassembly of this engine, I took as many of the parts and pieces off as I could. But as I mentioned, it was a lot of work, and now we're trying to get the rest of it.
I'm gonna damage the teeth on it.
The pistons in here are seized, as I've mentioned, but hopefully they don't give us too much trouble. There we go. Right, let's job done. Now we can get the cam out. Ooh. And it's hard to get that out without banging it on stuff. The goal here while taking out this cam is to be as gentle as possible so that we don't inadvertently damage it or any of the bearings. I'm doing my best, but it's kind of hard to wiggle it out here. Okay, there we go. Right, well, try not to touch that too much, but look at that, Petrol. Okay, we'll put this somewhere safe.
Not even a little bit. There might be too much like absorbance in the wood to transfer the energy. I'm getting it to move.
I am worried about damaging that cylinder wall more than it already is, though.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility that it could score up the cylinder wall. What I'm thinking though is that with the damage that's already been caused by the rust and the damage that it's going to cause the cylinder wall by pushing the piston out, I think it's going to have to get machined anyway. So
Understatement of the century.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So should we just carry on?
Carry on, sir.
Carry on. It's definitely moving, but man, not by much. This is going to be a bit of a workout. I think I need a bigger hammer for a start. I don't know if we can get this one out. I don't think I can get this one out. Not with that. I'm going to cause more damage, I think, than what is worth it. So let's move on to the other two and see if we can get those moving a bit more.
Well, what are you breaking now?
Trying to unstuck pistons.
Yeah. How long do you let it sit with oil in it?
A month?
Oh, it's
That
moving.
one's moving.
Yay, okay.
Move on to this one. Moving.
Okay, so they're all moving. What ended up with this one? No, hey?
Keep going.
Not so much?
No, it's locked solid. Okay, ready?
Not surprised.
See how like ting,
It bounces.
the cameras?
Yeah.
That tells me how locked it is.
Jack's been smashing away on these pistons here, getting some of them to move. This cylinder one here was moving up and down, so the piston is free. It's locking up on a ridge in the very top there, so we can't actually get it out, but it is moving. 2 and 4 are moving. He did get some movement out of those, but 3, being as locked in as it is not budging whatsoever. So I think we're going to carry on, try and get what we can out, and go from there. Now you'll notice the kind of hole in the middle there from smashing on it. This block is obviously going to need a fairly significant amount of machining, so we're not too worried about the pistons at this point. More so just getting them out of there.
It's not even remotely moving.
So can it go at the bottom?
I don't know. I don't know yet. That one can't because it fouls on the block.
Yes. Okay, well, let's...
But I don't know if there's any point, really.
Well, if we get them out, let's... one less thing the machine shop's going to charge us for. I don't know.
No bueno? Just keep going a little bit?
I think it's going to... No, you know what? No, it's not going to come out.
No?
It's good. There's the central race here. It's going to hit that. Oh. So that's not going to work.
No.
I mean, if you can smash it down, you can smash it up, right?
Yep, 100%.
So the pistons will not come out through the bottom because they foul out on the way the block is made. We're just going to flip this around and see if we can hit them from the other way and get them out through the top, which is the way they're supposed to come out. So you can see what we're up against here. The pistons here will foul out on just a lot of the way the thing is made here. So that's not going to happen.
Is it even working?
Nope.
Cool, cool.
Dang. I mean, if you break it into a million pieces, then the pieces come out.
True.
Ooh!
Yeah, that's probably gonna happen. Hey?
Goodbye. Piston.
Oh. I've broken the top right off the piston. Look.
Oh.
Can you see that?
Yeah, you have. Yep. Okay.
Cool, cool. The top part is what has the rings in it. Right? So, there you go. The lower part doesn't have rings in it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So what we could do is I could keep breaking the cylinder, the piston, so that it can come out that way. That make sense?
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah, it
almost
is.
out. Okay.
That's all I can do, really.
I mean, yeah, as long as we're not damaging anything else, give her. Smash it. It's almost out. It's good as new. Look at that.
Pretty cool.
Okay, well the rod is okay. Everything else looks like we can recover it out of there.
Cool. Just pick out the pistons insides here. That's cool. I'll eventually just smash that thing out of there, I guess. Actually, that'll probably come out through the bottom now. Maybe.
It might.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, because it has that rust ring in there that it's
Yeah.
not pushing past.
Yeah, so let's just continue doing that to these things. I guess.
Okay.
Great.
That's our best one yet. Definitely don't recommend taking them out this way, but kind of up against it here.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do when you gotta do it.
All right. Ooh.
There we go.
Ta-da.
Who says you can't get pistons out from the bottom?
So that's a really satisfying sound.
So, little update. We did manage to get the top of the piston broken off. And as you can see, it's just looking like a nightmare in there.
Okay, all 4 pistons are officially out of the block. It didn't go exactly to plan. Let's go have a look. Piston 1 was the one that you guys saw moving in the previous video. It came out in one piece, sort of. And then we've got 2, 3 here. So this one was absolutely locked into place, and it disintegrated when we tried to get it out. Definitely not the way to do this according to the manual, but do what we can, I guess.
We had to disintegrate it in order to get it out.
I know. Here's a better look at the block, all empty. Now again, this is certainly not the best way to get pistons out. However, considering how locked in this engine was, I don't think we had any choice. We knew it was rusted. We knew it was going to need to go to a machine shop. So we definitely weren't going to be able to use these pistons anyway. There's a few little bits still left on this engine. There's a couple motor mounts and the back, the other half of this oil seal here. So those are going to come off, and then I guess we're going to get this thing wrapped up and off to a machine shop, and hopefully there's enough there that they can machine it, and we won't be having to look for another block. Now that the engine's ready to go off to the machine shop, let's check in with the chassis. When we first bought Lenny, we knew his frame was totally rusted out. So we bought this replacement chassis and began work on getting it fixed up and ready to go underneath. However, when we got the body parts on, we noticed it was completely out of square in the front here. When we first started tidying this frame up, we did some measurements and it didn't really seem that bad. It seemed to track fine and all those were good. And the bulkhead, tub, everything fit really, really square. But we were pretty shocked to find when we put the front fenders and the rod support on that this front here was 25 mils out. We had spent ages sourcing this chassis, getting it fixed up, and making sure we were doing it all through the legit channels. And to find out that once we put the body panels on, it was so far out, it was incredibly disappointing. Especially since we had taken so much time to measure and make sure it was tracking straight. To find that the top didn't mount up with the rad support and the fenders, it felt like a really big blow. We weren't really sure what we were going to do with that, but now this chassis should be nice and straight and ready to go. We're going to try and get that bulkhead and the front end fitted again. I'm not going to lie, this was super nerve-wracking. Based on the repairs that have been done and our measurements, everything should be square again, bolt up, but I was still really nervous. It fits. You guys, I'm so pleased. It finally fits. We're so discouraged. I'm not even in the camera. I was so discouraged. We were both so discouraged when we fitted the body panels and they didn't line up. This is good progress. The engine's off to the machine shop. The body panels are fitting.
Should we show them that it fits?
Maybe. That's so much better than it was. Oh my gosh. Previously, when you looked at this front crossmember, it was so obviously out of square, but now it fits. Everything lines up. Looks like a car again. It's audience participation time. Don't worry, we're not going to ask you to share a fun fact about yourself. It has to do with that little guy right there. So this is Jack's 2018 RS3. It has just about every bolt-on you can imagine and pushes about 650 horsepower through its quattro all-wheel drive. Now, we already do track days with this thing and we have a lot of fun, but I'm a terrible passenger. Not because I get scared, but because I want to be behind the wheel. So we thought it was time to change that. We just picked up this 2005 Mini Cooper S, and this is going to be my car to chase Jack around the track in. We're planning a full build to get this thing track ready, and this is where you come in. If this is something you'd like to see, a build on this thing, getting it track ready, and maybe even some track content, please let us know. Your comments and the input we hear really shapes the channel, and it points us in the right direction. And don't worry, there's still going to be loads of Land Rover content coming your way. Just leave us a comment. Let us know what you think and if this is something you'd like to see. Thanks so much for watching.